Welcome to this tutorial on layered stamping. For this you'll need a special nail stamping plate. These are a few that I have. These are the designs that we'd use, starting with this one, then you add this one, and then finally this one. And also this is a Christmas plate with layered stamping. This is quite a complicated stamp, but it's very pretty if you can get it right. And then there's all sorts of little ones here, Christmas trees and fir cones here, candy canes. You know, you can get quite little ones like that. Again, here's another one here, quite a few on this plate. But you have to get a specific nail stamping plate for layered stamping. And quite often you will get to have a little arrow pointing from one to the other. Or in this one, you see you have a plus. So you would start with this design and then add this one to it. So you need to sort of play about to see. The one with the more silver on it, where the silver is here, this is the bit that's etched. So if you stamped this design here, you would just get a circular design block in the colour that you've put on there, like a moon. And then you add these to that one. So you start with the darkest colour and then you add gradually lighter colours or whatever colours you need for the design. Like I say, this is the most complicated one because of the pattern. So you need to make sure that these align perfectly over the top, which is a bit of a challenge to do. But it does look lovely once it's done. This is for a Christmas sweater design. Now for this you're going to need a clear jelly stamper, a silicone stamper. You want a small one like this, as in a narrow one in this part of the stamper, rather than one like this. Which this is okay for ordinary stamping, because you can see roughly where you want to put it. But for layered stamping, you need to be able to see very accurately exactly where you're putting it. And this, because the barrel here is shorter, you can get your eye closer to it. And I also wear reading glasses to do it, so because I need that bit more magnification so you can really see exactly where it's going. So I've prepped my nails here ready as just a light base, a general, this is a neutral base and these are light bases. So the first design I shall be showing you will be this one, which is like a splashing wave design. And then I shall show you the fir cone design, just to see, so you can see what it's like doing a small pattern and how to align it. And then finally I shall show you the sweater, multicoloured sweater design. So I shall apply the first stamp in the normal way, making sure that the bottom of it comes below here so that we don't get a gap at the bottom of the design. So that will cover that area here. And the splash should come to about here. My nails aren't excessively long at the moment, so I need to make sure I pull it further down so you can see the splash and it doesn't go off the end of the nail. So now I shall pick up the second design. And this is where it gets a little bit more tricky, because you have to line up, look at the design and line up over the top of the other pattern. So I need to find a little bit of the design here that perfectly links with the design underneath. And for that, I would go for this little piece here that's sticking out. And as you see on here, it's also sticking out. So very slowly take it to there. I would say about there. Now this has taken me some time, so this is now dried. So I'm going to pick this up again and show you how I lay it down. So you can see the design is starting to build up. So now for the final layer. So the main thing is to find a point on the pattern that is the same on each layer, so that you know exactly where that stamp is going to go. So overlay it on that particular point, and that point was this little splash here and here and this piece here. And once you get that lined up, you're fine. So it's fine, it's looking at the design and finding which point you want to focus on. So I shall leave that to dry and move on to this one to show you the small design. So this is basically the same process, just on a smaller version. Now, because I've got some polish around the edge here, I shall just remove that with a bit of sellotape first. So finally, the more complicated design. So I shall start with this one. I'll tell you why, because this would be easy, is going to be easier to overlay this than this overlaying this one. Because as you can see, the diamond shapes here are outlined, and here they're solid. So it would be a lot easier for me to line up these on top of these. So once I've got the base there, I will then line up these diamonds, the centre one there, and there's also the same above. So that, so long as I can get that centre one there and that centre one there lined up, and this design here looks okay for that to go around the edge of there, that will be pretty much okay. So we want to line up this diamond and this diamond and make sure that the pattern looks okay around this. That is about right. But because I've taken time to do this, this is now dry, so I shall reload this. I think that's worked out quite well. I've got the diamonds across the diamonds, and it's got the outline across the little star. I think that's as good as I could have got it. That's pretty good. So I shall take off the barrier now and just clean up around the edges with some acetone, and you can see the result. Obviously these designs would look better, well, particularly this one and this one would look a lot better if you had nice long nails. Mine are getting there, but they're not quite long yet, because you've got more of a canvas basically to have nicer artwork. So, you know, this is the best I could do on the length of nails that I've got here. Here is one that I did on a little stick to show you what it would look like on a longer nail. As you can see, it's more punchy, isn't it? It's more, you can see the design much better because you've got a larger canvas. And I also did one just on the white stick. I like the Christmas sweater one because you can do all sorts of different colours for Christmas. And I'll list the names of these stamping plates in the description for you. this would look lovely on a longer nail because there was a lot more to the design than I could actually put on my nail. So only at the bottom, it only comes to the diamonds there. There's a lot more of the pattern below that. So if you had nice long nails, it would, show much more of the design. It would look a lot prettier. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it explained it clearly enough for you to understand. It's a slightly more complicated stamping technique, but something to play about with, and it's just practice really. It's not a beginner's technique, so I would say play about with stamping quite a bit until you're quite adept at doing basic stamping, and then progress on to the layered stamping. And you could do all sorts of different sort of things on a nail, particularly if you've got a long nail. You could do some sponge gradient to start with to make it like the scene, like a sunset, say, and then you could put on the ground and tree and various different layered stamping techniques for that. You could do a nice layered look. This one is by Kads. They seem to do quite a lot of layered stamping plates, so that's one to look out for. So thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.